Hi everyone and welcome back. If it's your first time here, my name is Kostis and previously on the Novympia channel.
Very
No,
good. Very
Very
good.
nice, very nice.
no, Novympia are on my channel. How are you? Thank you for being here. Thank
Thank you
you.
so much for having us.
We
This is
are
a
good.
fantastic earring.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
our earring game is not nearly as strong. So
Well, I put some on and then I realized I was putting this on and I just
Stupid.
immediately took them all off. So I've got like a handful of little earrings.
they're not as good though as yours.
I was like, well, I have invited drag queens. I have to keep it up, you know?
Good job.
Great. How are we, ladies? How are we doing?
Yeah, I can't believe that Eurovision, like the actual live shows, are just around the corner because this season started so early and
It
I
did.
can't really remember life before Eurovision 2024.
And you know what's so interesting is the closer we get, the less idea we have about who's qualifying because it's so up in the air. This conversation is going to be worthless. We're going to look back at it and realize that we had no idea because
It's
there's going to be
gonna
so
end so
many
bad.
there's going to be so many surprises we're not going to know at all. So
I know, but we love to speculate and we love Eurovision and
all about the speculating. Yeah.
Absolutely.
so how do you find the class of 2024 so far?
We think, I mean, a lot of people have different opinions on this, but we both find it really strong this year.
Yes, I find that I'm very picky when it comes to music. I can be like a little kind of picky bitch that way. But this year, I mean, there's like five or six songs that I'll skip, and the rest I will solidly listen to. And usually it's the other way around.
Yeah, normally you're happy if you've got five or six.
Yeah, yeah. My top 10 is usually just padded out with, oh, well, I don't mind that. So it's wild. I think there's probably too many strong songs because who knows?
Yeah,
Like
there's no toilet breaks.
there's very few toilet breaks.
Right? What is your relationship with music?
Oh,
Uh,
that's
yeah, so we're performers, we're drag queens. We don't do a lot of live performing now that we've kind of thrown ourselves into the YouTube game. But we have dabbled with music before. We do have a little original song and a music video that is on our channel. And we are working on more music. I don't like to talk about it too much because we've been working on it for a while. And I think people get sick and tired of hearing, oh, we're working on new music. So I only want to really talk about it when it's nearly ready to be released.
Okay.
Yeah,
But
takes so
it will
long.
come one day.
It takes so long because I'm so picky about things.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not easy to please.
But we're big music lovers.
I can't wait to hear it.
You
So,
can probably wait.
no, I can't. I'm telling you. So is it a close date or we're still
Oh, we're still a little,
Oh, we're a ways
a
off
little
from
way
that.
out. I want to have all our ducks in a row before we start teasing something. And that means I want to have music video recorded. I want album artwork shot and edited. I want everything ready to go before we even put out a teaser.
Because, making so many of us consume Eurovision just, I mean, we're also free with our opinions and our critiques, and they should do this and they should do that. It's so hard. Making music is so difficult.
Yeah.
So it really is worth bearing in mind that like these artists there's some of them must be really struggling having done this for so long to try and just put something out that people like, and then it just immediately people jump on them and say it sucks.
And then it's one thing to actually make music, but it's another to pair it with visuals that not only are you happy with, but that other people enjoy.
Yeah.
That's a whole other situation. So yeah, it's difficult, but we don't like doing things half-assed. So if it's not right, it's not going to get out there.
I agree. Take your time. Take your time. Yeah.
Mhm.
Great. So do we jump into the semifinals then?
Oh yeah. Oh God. This is so stressful. It's so stressful. Yeah, go on, go ahead.
Why? Why is it stressful?
Because we're going to be losing people that we like.
We're gonna lose people that we like, and
Right?
we're not gonna know. We're all gonna be like gasping and clutching our pearls when we see the results because we're not. It's gonna be there's gonna be surprises. There have to be.
Yeah, that's what we've been saying in this series that I invite other YouTubers, and we're all saying the same thing. We're gonna lose songs that we like this year. Like,
It's inevitable.
yeah. Okay, so which countries do you think will qualify from the first semifinal?
I'm so glad you've
And
asked. I
then
have the
tell me
list.
which ones you like, and you will be disappointed if they won't.
From where I'm sitting, there are only two countries that from semi-final one are in absolute 100%, there's no question asked, will qualify, which I think are Ukraine and Croatia.
Oh no, Luxembourg.
See, this
It
is when
is with
this...
no question.
I think because it's the novelty of a returning country, I think they're going to qualify. I think everybody's going to be looking for
But
Luxembourg.
look, there's questions, there's stuff we can say about like, well, I think this will for X, Y, and Z. I wouldn't say it's 100% a lot.
Okay, fair enough.
The
Fair
way
enough.
that Croatia is absolutely a lot. We don't even need to talk about Croatia. And I also think Ukraine, they're not going to lose their 100% qualification streak with that. I just think it's too strong. So then you get down to, okay, Luxembourg.
I think that's likely.
I don't want it there.
No, we're not fans. We're not fans of Fighter this year. I don't know what you think about it, Costas, but for me, it doesn't excite me. I don't like this revamp either. I don't like it. And we like a pop girly.
Yeah, but Malta is doing it for me for the pop girlies. I don't need anyone else. I mean, I also think that we can talk about Serbia is probably likely. Lithuania is probably likely. Slovenia is probably likely.
Okay.
And then you get down to the kind of ones where it's, all right, well, if we're saying this goes in, it means it's at the expense of something else, which could also...
Well, let us ask you a question, Costas.
Of course.
Do you think Ireland is going to qualify?
Yes.
You do? That was a very confident yes.
I very strongly believe that.
So why are you so sure?
Because it's a televote only.
Yeah.
And Bambi already has many strong fans, like that strongly support them. Not like also the opposite, but it's only a positive vote. So
yeah,
and it's a semi-final, which means that it's mostly the Euro fans and a few more and their friends that are gonna watch. Like it's not a big final that there are more viewers there. So I think that Ireland will qualify. I mean, I like to think I've created this idea in my head because I want them to qualify.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, because it's Ireland, I've loved Ireland at Eurovision for so long, and they just don't. They seem to be in this horrible place. So I think we both want Ireland to qualify. I just think it. I don't know. The closer we get, the less realistic it seems.
I think I have no concerns about Bambi's vocal ability, performance ability. We were lucky enough to see them in the London Eurovision party, and we've seen other performances.
You were there.
Since.
Oh yeah, I saw that you were there, but I didn't see you there.
Oh, were you there as well?
Yeah.
No, oh no way! Do you know I didn't see anyone?
No. Well, no, I saw a few people.
I didn't. But
I saw Gabe.
There's all these conversations about, oh, we've got to see each other, and then you're in this room where it's just like so you can't see it. It's like so difficult.
So yes, as far as how this is going to sound and be performed, I have no concerns. My concern is with this staging. And I also think we cannot deny that this is a divisive song. It's not a universally accessible song. Some people will resist this just purely based on the genre alone. So I think if we are going to get over that hurdle, and like you said, there is a fan base existing, it is televote only, this all works in Bambi's favor, but this staging needs to be mature. It needs to look expensive and polished. I don't want a repeat of Eurosong.
No.
Good.
But what they said, because I met Bambi at the London pre-party and we had an interview, and that's how they describe the staging. Mature and romantic.
That sounds promising.
Romantic is an interesting, I wouldn't have thought.
Yeah.
Maybe a little hark back to the music video.
Okay, I don't hate that. And the UK can vote in the first semi, so I think there's maybe some kind of help there.
Are you gonna be in Malmo?
No,
No,
not
we're
this
not.
year.
Okay, so you're gonna be voting from the UK.
Uh-huh.
Yes. Do you know? I don't know who I would pick up the phone for. I guess Ireland because I do want them to qualify. I just think with
I really, really would like to see
the
Ireland in the
genre.
final.
There could be a lot of people who just see this as being like satanic and whatever. It's too scary for them and they're not going to pick up the phone.
But we love a little bit of Satanism, so we're all for that.
Yeah, exactly.
But you know what? If Ireland make it through, then we have to talk about Australia. Is Australia like a surefire qualifier?
Again, I think similar conversation about staging.
Mm.
We are yet to see a full live performance, although seeing the artist perform other songs in previous years, I think that's not something we really need to worry
Oh
about.
yeah, their live vocal
I
is
agree.
amazing.
I agree.
But
Yeah.
what is this going to look like in Malmö?
I think it's gonna be based on their energy. I
Is
believe.
that going to be enough to carry it?
I don't know. For me, probably. For what I look into, especially a song like that, like this song specifically. But yeah, I don't know for everyone. I hope it will because I really, really love the song, Australia song this year.
I have that at the moment as, for me, predicted to qualify, but it's a borderline one.
I
for
think it
myself.
will. I think we'll actually lose Cyprus. I don't think Cyprus is doing anything.
I think so as well. And do you know
Think so.
why else I think we're going to lose Cyprus? I blame Jojo Siwa because I get Jojo Siwa vibes from Cilia when she performs this live. I really do. The dancing is erratic. The energy is too enthusiastic. It's too much energy for this song. And I get Jojo Siwa vibes, and people really hate Jojo Siwa at the moment.
That seems like a bit of a stretch.
That's
But
how I
don't
feel
you
about
also
this.
get young Britney?
No. No.
I do a little bit.
I think she's styled similarly to a young Britney.
Maybe that's also a reason why, but it's also her technique. Like she has very clean lines, like Britney used to have. Like something in the way that she dances.
I think younger Britney had a more effortless vibe to her, and I think Cilia is really trying hard. Like she's really, really
Maybe
trying
Yeah,
hard.
but younger Britney was never at a competition like this. Maybe
That's true.
Maybe a young Ashley Simpson.
No,
No, that's cruel. I didn't mean it. Take it back. Well, no, but we've seen her do it live a few times, have we not? And the vocals inconsistent. So
there's been some bad.
Is she not going first? Is she going
She's
first?
going
opening.
first.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I mean,
not a good slot for her.
the running order isn't as important really in a semi, is it? But that still is a bit tricky. So I don't think it's doing anything, and we might lose Cyprus in favor of. Do you know? I really want Moldova to qualify.
I'm not sure that's happening.
I mean, her voice.
Yeah. It's so nice though. Like that's so easy on the ears. I don't know anyone that really doesn't like Moldova's song. And it's always done very, very well. So it deserves to qualify. So I kind of hope that they do, but they're really in this borderline area.
It's just hard this year, We're gonna, as you said before, we're gonna lose some songs that we like, and I'm just scared for Moldova.
I don't see a lot of people talking about Natalia either within the fandom. I'm not seeing her name pop up. I'm not seeing this song featured on any lists. It's kind of like been a bit forgotten. So I would be surprised if it qualified, despite the fact that I would like to see it.
I think we still have to kind of limit our conversation about the fandom though, because it's going to be more fans as a percentage in the semis watching, but the casual viewers still watching in the semis it's still going to outweigh people in the kind of fandom bubble. So I don't know, people might, even though the fandom aren't talking about Moldova, it might still have enough to pull through. In terms of the ones that aren't, do you have any
surefire not qualifying?
Do you have any that you think is a surefire not going to qualify?
Any that I think that they're for sure not going to qualify?
Just dead on arrival.
Iceland.
Yes. Okay. We agree with that one.
Oh God, it's so awful. It's such a shame that I've seen this conversation had a few times now, and Iceland is always the one.
It's like it's not it's not a bad song, but we've heard it before.
I think it's a bad song.
Oh, you think so?
No, I don't think it's bad. We've heard it before, but we heard it like 20 years ago as
It's
well.
dated.
Yeah,
It's
but
very, very
didn't we
dated.
also hear the song, like almost the same song from the UK?
Out of the embers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's the same song.
It's the same song.
it's very, very
Oh.
similar.
But I like
I-
her. I like her presence on stage. She has something,
Yeah,
something very cute. You know, I like to see her on stage. But
she's
yeah, I
like a
don't
wine
think it's
mom. You
enough.
just kind of want to root for her and like
Yeah.
go out for a drink with her. That's the kind of vibe that she gives. Like there is a joy, a joyfulness about it. However, I just think sending that. And then also there was the storyline of the Iceland, will they, won't they participate? And then they still decided to with this song. Like
Yeah.
what? So that aggravates me as well.
That's too bad.
I don't
Yeah,
like
the
the
whole
will they, won't
this
they.
was a shit song. The whole situation was a
Yeah.
shit song. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not good. I haven't even really thought about anything about the staging, the way she sings it. No, I haven't even considered it really, because you just know there's no point even.
Me too. I really think I've invited a lot of people here. I think you're the first ones that we talk about this song.
Oh
Oh.
yeah, see, so okay, that says a lot.
I
then,
just
doesn't it?
realized it. We've never talked about this song ever.
Because why would you?
Why
Unless you were
would
talking
you?
about how it's not going to
Yeah.
qualify.
Yeah.
I actually haven't paid any attention to Azerbaijan. I don't think that's
I haven't as well.
A
Like I've heard
sci-fi.
it briefly.
Azerbaijan has a song that we've been avoiding for political reasons, but the actual song itself, I do like the song, and it is the kind of music that I would ordinarily listen to. However, the vocalist's performance in the studio cut is very, very produced and very, very filtered. And I have a feeling this is not going to work live because these vocals are so produced.
Yeah, it's
I question the live vocal ability.
also it's kind of just it's very eye rolly. They've sent something like this so many times, and it just feels a bit kind of like insipid. I don't know. I don't see.
Yeah,
this
but on the other hand, they got red last year for not sending this.
Yeah, I guess that's true. But I don't know. Does
I think
it?
this is kind of the opposite side of the spectrum, though. I find this could be seen as a bit of a dirge, a little bit boring. For me, it's the kind of music that I would like to listen to as I'm doing daily tasks, just in the background. Like it's quite pleasant. But in terms of a competition, I don't think this is pulling anybody's votes.
No, I
Who's
don't.
voting
I
for
agree.
this?
I agree. I don't see it qualifying. To
I
be
don't
honest.
see it qualifying. And do you know, I don't know, this seems to be a really controversial opinion, but I don't see Poland qualifying.
I don't either anymore. There would
Yeah.
once upon a time we did see room for it, but I don't anymore, sadly. And I like Luna a lot. And we don't hate the song.
Oh, we like the song. We listen
Yeah.
to it, but
Yeah, it's like a pop song, like a well-produced pop song. I think the staging will be good because Poland usually stages well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not sure about your vocals 100% because of London Eurovision Party.
yeah.
And others. This is another
There's been a
artist that's
few.
been fairly inconsistent. And I understand that there's only so much weight you can put on the pre-party vocals.
That's true.
I do understand that, but I don't think we've seen a really stellar, solid vocal performance from Luna, which makes me worry.
Do Poland stage well? Is that something people think? There's usually
I
lots of visual
think-
effects.
Well, before they start tinkering with After Effects for the
Yeah.
live shows.
I think I say that because of how upgraded Blanca was last year, but then you could only upgrade that if I think about it. So,
I think her staging was very good. I
Yeah.
think her staging made
It's a bit
that song.
overdone. I feel like it always tends to be a bit overdone. So I don't have any hope that
Luther.
they'll do it tastefully, maybe, or it won't just be just a lot to sort of take in, and then it just doesn't work because the vocal is a little bit.
Here.
And do you know, it's like a pop song. It's a very kind of like safe radio pop song, but I actually think it is. It's not like I think it's tricky to sing. It's a lot of repetition. There's a lot of trying to because it's just kind of mid tempo. Everything's very mid.
Yeah.
So it's hard to sell it.
There's not many highs or lows. There's no big vocal moment towards the end. It's just kind of always there.
So I think it's
Yeah.
difficult to actually perform in a way that really sells it. So I think there's a lot against her.
Exactly, that's exactly what I'm thinking. If we think about a competition setting, because that's a competition and you have to stand out. So yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, and I guess people talk about the diaspora with Poland.
That's also true, and the UK is voting.
Yeah, they are, but I don't know. I just think several other years this could have been a comfortable qualifier. It's just for me, it's definitely in that pot of songs where it's like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
we could lose it. Yeah. We didn't speak
we
about
could lose it.
Lithuania. Don't you think Lithuania will qualify?
Yeah,
I think that's pretty safe.
Lithuania, I think, is
Yeah,
quite safe.
I do.
I don't love Lithuania's song, but there's something about it that's very, very polished.
I also think Portugal's pretty safe. I always seem to pair Portugal and Serbia
Yes.
together because I think they're both female artists doing similar emotional, slower, not really, I don't think you call them ballads necessarily because they're not really love songs, but they're very meaningful, emotive
Yeah.
music. I have always preferred Serbia. So I've always been in the world where if we are going to lose one of them, I'd prefer to keep Serbia. But I see a world where we have both.
I think we'll get both.
Yeah.
I hope we get both.
The pair of them, their vocals are so good. And the end of the Portuguese entry, like there's just a lot there to really like captivate people, and she does it so well.
And I think that
Mm.
staging is going to be really wonderful to watch.
Yeah, and I think she's upgrading it. She's doing more
Mm.
from what she told me. So I have high hopes. I really
Yeah,
like
I
and I
think
love your voice.
it will be good. But the first semi, I think, is
Well, the only country we've not spoken about is Finland.
Oh yes.
I mean, yes, I think it will qualify. I don't think it deserves to because I actually find it kind of stupid. I've got no interest in Finland's entry.
It's been interesting to see. I think the fandom bubble were going really, really hard for this initially. And I do think there is a bit of fatigue, at least within the fandom, and that's not going to affect people seeing it for the first time in the live shows. But within the fandom, I have seen a few people turn their backs on this the last few weeks. I think they're starting to get a bit bored.
Do you like Finland's? No.
From the first moment, I was like one of the few people that I was like, what is this? Like, and I love fun songs. I love Out There. I love Camp. I love all of these things.
Yeah.
But I don't know. What is it even about? Like no
yeah,
rules.
what
are the rules that you're breaking? That you are not singing in your own song and you have another guy to sing? That
Yeah.
you
What is
don't
that
name?
about? That's very strange. This Henry person who does all of the singing vocals, all of the falsetto moments. So I read some, or maybe we were told in our comments to our reaction video, that the story there was that Henry sang on the demo and they loved it so much they didn't bother finding a vocalist. They just asked him to be on the track and he agreed, but I don't think he wanted to be credited, which is strange to me.
The whole thing is weird. There's so much
You don't want to
it.
be credited, but you've been touring Europe
Yes,
in all of the
very
three parties.
odd.
Like,
And we've also had it broken down to us in the comments how this is actually the staging that we've seen for the national final was actually full of visual metaphors. It's all about Finnish folklore, and there's like an origin story there. And my response to that is if it doesn't read to the masses immediately, then it's pointless.
yeah, and also
nice...
what's the Finnish folklore? The denim eggs?
Something to do with the egg. It's something to do with coming out of the egg. There is a mythology there where that's how the world began.
Yeah, no, I'm kidding.
And the fact that he doesn't have his pants, that he's like an infant trying to learn how the world works. Like I have seen an interpretation.
I had the same comments, yeah.
But if that doesn't read straight away, something like that should be a nice little extra bit of trivia to an already great performance. You shouldn't be reliant on that knowledge to appreciate the performance in the first place.
And we've said, that it has a right to be there. We're not against kind of crazy, stupid, whatever entries, like joke entries, whatever. We're not opposed to them in theory. But if they're just kind of good, if there's more intention to them, and it reads as trashy to me. There's nothing about it that I find palatable. The song itself, I just think is a nightmare to listen to. and visually as well. It's just I find it very, very messy.
Have you seen that they may or may not be allowed to do the nude pants gag in
I
Malmö?
mean, I was thinking about that yesterday for some reason by myself. Yeah, because they also had problems. Let 3 had similar issues last year, so I was like, they will probably have it as well. Yeah.
So I'm not sure what they would do instead, because the entire performance is based around the idea of him
That he
finding
doesn't
his
have a denim
pants.
shorts. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that the whole song is about no rules, when clearly he's just being slapped down with rules left, right, and center. He needs to change everything. So I don't know. I just think it's just
Yeah, right.
But people seem to like, listen, if people love it, then people enjoy it, and it's doing its job. So I think that enough people will vote for it because it is amusing and it's kind of humorous and it's silly, and it probably will qualify.
Yeah, like when I put my friends to react to the songs, like my flatmate, she was like, "Oh, Denim Egg! I won Denim Egg in the final." You know? So
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's
Have your denim egg in the final.
Have it.
Have it.
Have it. But the really upsetting thing is, this is going to qualify over something that's way more deserving. I mean, if this qualifies and like Moldova doesn't, it will just be so annoying. It will be such a shame. But
Be
think that's
prepared. Be
likely.
prepared because that's very possible.
I think so.
It's just, that's what you get with the televote. It's just going to go that way, isn't it? This is an easier semi, I think, to predict, though. I think the second one is
harder.
Impossible.
Having said that, let's go to it. What do you think?
So surefire qualify 100%. I think we have Switzerland. I think is a safe qualifier. I think, unfortunately, Israel is a safe qualifier. And then we get to the Netherlands, I think is a safe qualifier.
Yeah.
Then we have others that I think in our house are totally safe, but I could see small possibilities where they don't. But Norway's very likely.
I think
Norway is absolutely qualifying. And well, do you know what's interesting is, for the longest time, I think we also probably would have said Austria. I do think there's a little wiggle room now.
I think that's qualifying.
Do you?
Yeah. How it will do in the final, I don't know.
Yeah,
but I think that's qualifying.
I don't know. I'm starting to I feel like the tide's turning a little bit on Austria.
I think it's because, again, we are having more and more pre-parties every year. They're becoming more and more accessible to people who don't attend them. So we're getting professional recordings, we're getting live streams. And I think people are expecting too much from these pre-parties.
I just think that the video for Austria's song was so strong, and it really kind of, there was a vibe and a kind of feeling and a nostalgia and everything wrapped up in this perfect video. It's going to be so difficult to translate that to a live performance.
I trust her.
Yeah, I trust her too. And yeah, she has a background in dance. The vocals have been shaky sometimes in the pre-parties. The worry with Austria is that she's in a semi with a lot of pop dance female-led songs, and then Nuta made an appearance in the pre-parties, and everyone is gagged.
Yeah, I think she's fantastic. I think if there's any justice in the world, that has to qualify. I will say, and we've said this throughout, and I still think this, we have a styling issue for Nutsa. I do have a little bit of a red flag as to what is she going to wear in Malmö. But otherwise, oh my gosh, like what a world-class talent the woman is.
Right?
But I just want to cut to the point though. Like, if we're talking about the songs in the same kind of area, girl bops, Austria, Malta, Georgia.
Yeah.
I guess the point I want to get to is what you all think of Malta's chances, because I think they're substantially stronger.
She's also opening, isn't she?
She's opening, but I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing for her in the way that it was for Cyprus, because there's nothing very memorable about Cyprus's in the other semi. But
whereas Malta has a stunt.
Malta, there's a stunt. She sings it excellently every time, and she dances it so well. So when Malta's song came out to begin with, and everyone was like, okay, it might as well not be there. It's not doing a damn thing. It's ramped up to the point now
You
where
think Colleen needs to watch her back? is
I
what
think
you're
there's a
saying.
tiny bit of wiggle room that Austria's going to qualify, that Malta's going to
Malta.
qualify.
I think
Yeah.
so now. Like I'm getting convinced more and more because of the pre-parties.
Mm. And it's just a safe pop song, but you know it's going to be done well,
Yeah.
and people, there's
And there
something to
is
be
an audience
said.
for that at Eurovision.
Yeah. Of
Absolutely.
course there is. If people like it and they can bop along to it, it doesn't have to be groundbreaking.
I could
Hmm.
see a world where that happens if Colleen gets carried away again and does some of those extra ad-libs towards the end and go a little bit wonky. I could see a world where actually Sarah Benici steps in and takes those televotes because people watching at home are not going to be forgiving of vocals like that.
Did you meet Sarah Benici?
No, I didn't.
Oh, she's so sweet. She was one of the few ones we actually spoke to. She's so lovely. She was just so excited to be there. I just think it would be lovely for her to qualify.
Everyone says the same thing. I didn't see her in the press room. I didn't even see her. Like I don't know if she came in the press room because I was in the press, and that's how I met people.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I never saw her in the press room.
No, we called her at the after party.
We met her in the VIP bar.
Uh-huh.
So I think people that are not qualifying, Latvia,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think is not qualifying. And I think this is a nice song and he performs it well, but this was so wrong for Eurovision, especially this year.
And he sings it very, very well, but the song has been done. It's been done before. I think it's been done better.
Yeah.
Also on this list, I have at the moment, and you're not going to like to hear this, but I don't see a world where Denmark qualifies.
No, I don't either. I don't think Denmark is qualifying.
I'm so sad for
And
that.
we like
I want.
Saba,
I really like
That's like
Saba
my-
too.
and we love this song.
It's literally probably the one I listen to the most. It's one of my favorites, but I just think it's very mid, it's very safe, it's a bit dated. I don't think it's going to be memorable.
And I'm not
enough.
sure how comfortable she is performing this kind of music on stage. I don't know anything of her back catalogue, but she never seems very confident. She's very statuesque, which I think could be done very well with the correct camera angles, like her national final performance, I think was a good example of that. But we can't just copy and paste that.
Do you know what's interesting though about this song is you don't really ever speak to someone about it and they say that they don't like it. So
Yeah,
who
that's
are we
true.
saying this? I can't remember who we were saying this about now, but the fact that it is so immediately easy that everyone's like they can hum along to it and they're like, oh, this reminds me of something else, but it's nice, I like it, is probably its biggest strength. Because everyone seems to like it, I think.
Yeah, but do you like it enough to pick up your phone and vote?
I mean, I would, but we can't vote enough. I would have done. I would have done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love it too. But again, if we're saying it's not going to, or it is going to, you're going to lose. Like San Marino, I think absolutely should. I just don't think it will.
I see San Marino qualifying. What do you
I
think?
can see it too because of the semifinal that they are in and which
Yeah.
countries are voting
Yeah.
in the semifinal.
I also think this act has a major label behind them, if I'm not mistaken. I think they already clearly have a staging package because we're seeing consistent visuals from the national final through to the pre-parties. I think they know what they're going to do in Malmö.
Yeah.
And I like that when we have consistent visuals, we have a vision. I really like that. And this is fun. I think people are going to respond well to this.
I love this song. It's one of my faves. I hate that they're up against Denmark in the same, and Norway. Actually, all three of my top three in this. It's so annoying. I think people see San Marino and immediately kind of write it off, unfortunately, because they think it's a tiny country. It's not really done much so far.
Yeah.
So it's got an uphill struggle just because of the name. And I mean, yeah, there isn't much rock, so maybe it will kind of stand out. Something is just resisting me. I just can't see it making it
We're
through.
just scared because of the track record, I think.
Maybe it might
Yeah.
be. But also, I mean, it is up against a lot of good stuff.
Yeah.
What do we think about Czechia? Because that's a similar genre.
I don't think Czechia's got it to qualify.
I really like the song, and
Yeah, we do.
yeah, I mean, I live in London, and you are British, right? You're British both.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for me, this is giving very much live gig at a pub with a stage
Yeah,
here in
it's very
London,
that.
and I really
Yeah.
enjoy that. So this is something that I really like to see. But I haven't seen people very happy with it for some reason, you know?
I get that's probably because the first time we saw her do it live, it was pretty mediocre, but people don't seem to realize that the setup for that whole national final was weak.
It was just
Right?
unacceptable.
Yeah.
Every
There was
year
not
it's the
one act that
same.
sounded good.
It's the set, yeah. So it's unfair, but people don't seem to latch onto that. The second they hear something slightly off, they just immediately are just like, no,
Yeah.
we're not going to give it a second chance.
Because I mean, real talk, it's probably one of the strongest studio cuts we have this year.
It's so good. We listen to it all the
It's
time.
very well produced.
Although I will say I hate the introduction of the kind of spoken argument bit in the middle.
Yeah.
I just think
this revamp.
I hate that bit. It's so
I
dumb.
don't mind it. She's a bit camp. She's a bit camp sometimes.
Oh,
Like,
I think it takes something that's so edgy and just makes it like soap opera. I don't know.
Yeah.
It doesn't work for me, but I don't think it's gonna.
I'd be surprised if it qualified.
Yeah.
One of my absolute favorites, I have a big question mark over, and that is Greece.
question mark.
Greece
I do have a
Greece
question
is
mark.
absolutely going to qualify. Don't worry, you're going to
I
qualify.
hope so. Do you think it's going to
Yes,
qualify?
are you kidding me?
I love this song.
It will absolutely qualify.
I love
Thank
this
you.
song. But I'm worried that other people might not love it.
But it's good to be this divisive. Like
Yes.
people do
Yeah,
hate it,
yeah.
but people do love it as well. Like in the scoreboard, it's very high. Like you can tell that there are a lot of people that like it.
I'm excited to see what this looks like in Malmo because we've heard that it's going to be the one cam situation, the single cam situation, which I think could be really cool.
It can be really cool. I'm scared because it's Greece and we don't have a good track record with staging.
Yeah, I guess sometimes you don't want to be too experimental, like just do what you know works.
Yeah, but I trust Marina because I've been following her for years. I know her as an artist. And the choreographer, they have Rosalia's choreographer, who I guess he knows how to choreograph this kind of songs. So
I think you'll be fine.
I also trust her as an artist.
It's so cool. It's just so cool. Everything about it's so effortlessly cool. But I think people just tend to like Greece. There's something very kind of like celebratory about Greek entries. They're always kind of upbeat and there's just a cool vibe to them. I don't know, maybe it speaks to like the Greek philosophy of like living for the day kind of thing. I just think it usually comes across. So I think Greece has got nothing to worry about.
Thank you for your words. I don't agree with our late entries in general. Like it's the first time after a lot of years that I'm so happy about the Greek entry.
Yeah, I think you should be happy.
It's a mixed bag, I guess. But yeah, I think Greece will be fine. I think that Estonia will also be fine for similar reasons. It's just so fun.
Again, how they perform in the final, I don't know. But for me, I'm sure they're going to qualify.
We love this song. We listen to it all day long. And I guess we're surprised that more people don't like rave and shout about it.
Yeah, right? Like at the beginning in the national final, there was like kind of hype around it.
And it just disappeared.
Yeah.
It's so weird. I don't understand what that's about at all. But I think this is comfortably qualified.
And the guys are so funny. They are so funny.
And it's like it crosses all age groups, I think, can hook into this, can like appreciate this. It's like such a wide appeal of voters. It doesn't require much thought. Like there's a nice dance along with it. You can kind of sing the
This goes back to when I was saying about Finland, how I think to fully appreciate that, you have to have this external knowledge of the meanings of the song, otherwise you're missing something. I think with Estonia, there is a undertone to this. There is a message and there are meanings to it that if you're an English speaker, if you're not a native Estonian speaker, you'd miss. However, you can still enjoy the song. You don't need that.
Exactly.
You don't.
It's just
need
a
it.
fun bonus. And I think that's how
Mm.
that should be at Eurovision. It should be an interesting, fun bonus, a foil, if you will.
Speaking of countries where the opinion may have shifted slightly, what are your thoughts on Belgium?
Like, first of all, I have a soft spot for Musti. He was my first interview in the season. Like, we did
Okay.
I've
Let's
I've
not be
met
too
him.
biased. Let's not be biased.
But if you see my first reaction before the interview, you know that I was very excited about the song. I like the dark vibes. I like that it's edging us for a long time. Some people don't like that. I really like it.
I like it.
It's like and I love also the sexiness, like the sexuality, sensuality, I would say, around it. I think it's a very strong entry. I can see it in the final either winning or flopping, but I can definitely see it qualifying.
Okay, yeah.
I think the people who are commenting on recent performances saying this is not qualifying are out of their minds. I think they're so exaggerating. They're so exaggerating. People do be saying the most on the internet, don't they? For goodness sake, this is qualifying. Again, another one. I do think there's a question mark as to his performance in the final, but this is qualifying for sure.
Yeah,
Right?
I think it's always been a qualifier. There's just, yeah, I don't know. There's something about, again, this is a similar thing where it translates from the music video to the stage, and I feel like it loses something. I don't know.
But we haven't seen the full staging. We just
No,
see
absolutely we
Musti.
haven't. But
Have you watched the performance on The Voice yet?
yeah.
I thought, okay, vocals aside, I thought that staging was very promising. I liked the chiffon. I liked the wind machine. I liked the smoke. It was
I
evoking the
like
music video more.
the chiffon as
Do you
well.
know,
I just
this song has never done anything for me. I just don't really, I don't get it. Maybe I'm just not sophisticated enough.
No, not sophisticated at all.
I just don't like it. I'll take San Marino, please. Thank
Right,
you.
well, you have
No, it
that.
has to do with its personal music taste. That's
Yeah,
fine.
thank you.
Or
Yeah,
lack of.
taste.
Or lack of.
Taste. Do you want to talk about taste?
What do you think? Speaking of taste, what do you think about Besa for Albania?
I don't. Oh, why are you? I should be asking the questions now. I'm gonna get the hate. It's about you getting the hate of the people, not me.
No. Send the hate to us. Leave them alone. Thank you
What
so
do
much.
you think, Nova, of Besa?
What do you
I like it. And I think the revamp is infinitely better. The revamp has done what it needed to do, in my opinion. I think she's a good live performer. I struggle with how this fits into our lineup this year, and I struggle to see why somebody would pick up the phone for it and vote. I think I would be surprised if disqualified, but I do listen to the song a lot. I do enjoy it,
Okay.
but I don't see where this fits in. I can't see a path for it.
Olympia.
Do you know, yeah, I think it's that classic, you know, when people are like, okay, the revamp's coming. Oh, is it going to be English? Whatever's going to happen. And I know Albania tend to revamp anyway. They always do a revamp, but I think it's just a classic example of like a victim of you take something and it requires so much kind of reworking that you didn't obviously have anything to begin with that was going to be a winning song.
But you see, I don't mind that because I just take it as kind of a proof of concept. It's like a demo. I don't mind that because we have, like you said, come to expect now a revamp. So I just take it as a teaser and I don't put too much weight into it until we get the revamp. I don't mind that.
I mean, yeah, listen, she thinks it very, very well, and I'm sure she will look beautiful, and it's Albania, so I'm sure she'll be in like a metallic dress, there'll be fire, there'll be like fabric and stuff, but
I think Karia's, it's gonna be the person who staged Karia's performance that will stage this performance.
Ah, interesting.
No, is that true?
So very flashy.
That's what I
heard.
Which makes me like,
Interesting.
yeah, which is very interesting. I'm very curious to see like what's gonna happen with that.
She has the opportunity to do the funniest thing ever. If she comes out of a wooden box to begin with, there's like flamenco dancers. They do that kind of like train caterpillar thing. That would be excellent. Wouldn't that be? She'd be such a troll. I'd love that.
No,
I don't think it's going to qualify.
Yeah, me Me neither. I don't think it's gonna. I actually preferred the previous version. I wanted a revamp on that, but
Did you?
yes, I think.
That's
Although
interesting to hear.
it's better, like it's better quality in the production now, as a production musically,
Hmm.
but it's not as unique anymore in my ears in terms of a competition. So they made it so accessible that I don't know if people will
Mm.
remember it after a few
That's a
songs.
fair point of view.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand that. I do think though that it needed to be like you were saying, the song was so raw. I think maybe that's why it was so unique because it did sound unfinished in many places that they weren't really sure what melodies to go with and what beats to go with. Maybe it has lost something. I don't know. I just like what they've done with it. I like this version.
I think with this many real heavy hitting songs, it just cannot compete. Armenia, I think, is another
What do
one
you
that
think of
is
Armenia? Yes.
it's absolutely like the joy and the culture and the energy, everything about that.
Armenia is not for me this year, but having seen it live, I think that's absolutely going to qualify.
Yeah,
But
I think so.
it's not my personal taste. It's
I
not
like
one that
it.
I'm looking for, but I think that's going to do very well.
It just when it comes on, it just makes me very like
Hello,
joyous, and I just
Oh,
want to like jump
hi.
around. This is
Oh,
Janice. Say hello, Janice,
hi,
Pepper.
Janice.
She's always showing her tits on cam.
Don't show your tits. Yeah, I like I just think people are gonna there's no kind of questions. There's no, oh, what's this about? It's just an immediate, let's just get up and dance. And she does the call and response to people. It's so
That will be so
memorable.
cool if she
Yeah.
does
Yeah.
it there.
Yeah. I think it's an easy one.
Did we speak about all of them?
Oh wait, we didn't really talk about Georgia, did we?
No,
Did
we
talk
spoke about
Georgia?
Georgia,
We
yeah.
said, do you have anything else? We said how amazing of performer she is.
Yeah,
Mm.
but for some reason I don't think it's going to qualify though.
Oh, I think that's definitely going to
Really?
qualify.
Yeah, I don't
Because of the
know.
song?
That
You don't like the song?
Uh, Maybe because of the song. Maybe. God, it's so tricky, isn't it? If it does, I think it's down in that kind of borderline area. I don't think it's like
Why?
completely safe. Something just makes me resist. I don't know. I can't remember why I put it here
I
now.
think
Maybe it's
we've
the running
got
order.
great choreography. We have incredible vocals. She's so hot. I think it's just such a catchy song, and I really liked the structure of this song because it gives me everything I want out of a pop song. It is dynamic. We do have ebbs and flows. It does grow to a big climax. It feels complete. There's a lot of pop songs this year where I think they've really struggled with what to do with the 3 minute mark. It's like people
Yeah.
have forgotten in this age of 2 minute 20 songs, I think people have forgotten how to make a 3 minute song. And I always am left feeling like I want another chorus, whereas this feels so complete.
I feel like this has a little bit of the Renela Hajati secret where the structure of the song is not such that it's immediately memorable to what the kind of chorus or the hook is. I don't know necessarily that the kind of choreo that's going to come out of this is going to be as clean as some other people doing choreo. And I think looking at the list in terms of what's going to qualify for sure, there's like one spot left for me, and I just want it to be Malta. That's why.
Yeah.
I would just rather it was Malta. You know what? I can lose Malta.
God, you've got no idea what you're talking
No,
about.
you're very, very
Not a
foolish.
clue.
Dreadfully foolish. You thought Albania was going to qualify that year, and she didn't.
Well, that was, yeah,
Yeah, so let's see it. Watch it happen again.
that's not going to happen with this.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay. Okay.
Sorry, we're just having a domestic dispute now.
We didn't
I'm
speak much about
enjoying it. I'm
Switzerland.
enjoying it. Can I ask something about since we're talking about your house? What is this behind you? Do you have like spirits?
Oh,
Are you at your
the
house?
disco clam.
No, the bar. Yeah, we have a bar. So this is our like dining room.
Oh,
We
yeah. This is our home
That's
bar.
great.
We have
I
a bar
love
just
it.
we're so tacky. It's so tacky.
It's just a nice background for when we're doing streams and Zoom calls. We've got the
Yeah.
LED lights.
It's so tacky.
Yeah.
But we had to have a bar.
I love it. I love it.
Thank you.
We drink quite a lot, don't we?
Okay, which are the countries from both semifinals that you will cry if you will lose them?
Oh God, what a thing to ask. Well, do you know what? Denmark. I
Are
just
we
love
talking
it.
about countries that we think we could lose?
You'll cry if you
Yeah,
lose
yeah, but
them.
are we ones that we think that could be a potential? Because I think there's some that are like totally safe that I would cry if we lost.
What would you cry if you lost Belgium?
I'd cry if we lost Switzerland, but I don't think that's
That's
happening.
not
Yeah, but it's not happening. Yeah. So
No.
yeah, some that
Yeah.
you are also afraid that it might happen. Yeah.
Okay, I'd cry if we lost Greece.
I
That
just
would
can't
really
believe
upset
you've
me.
got that in that area. That seems wild to
I just
me.
don't know if it's as universally easily accessible. I just have to stress I love it
I
and
have
I
it as a
immediately
potential
loved it.
winner, and you are now telling me that there is a chance that it will not qualify.
Yeah, I don't know. If I'm off base about Georgia, I think you're off base about Greece.
Well, I hope so. I really
Yeah.
hope so. I would love to be proven
Yeah.
wrong with that.
Well, do you know, there aren't, like we said, there aren't that many kind of bad ones or, ones we're not listening to.
We'd be upset if we lost Malta.
Malta, Denmark, and maybe Czechia a little bit. And we're probably going to lose all three of those. So
I'd be upset if we lost Serbia. And I think Serbia have a really, really crappy performance slot. And they also have Portugal as competition in the same semi. So I do think we have to live in a world where that is possible. And that would really break my heart because Serbia, I love. I hope that it's enough to send them through. I've got them predicted as qualifying, but they easily could not.
I think Ireland as well. It would be a shame.
Okay. Right. I would cry. I would literally cry.
Yeah. Such a risk. And it's so kind of like, it's a really good choice. And if they don't qualify and they end up going back to sending like some vanilla beige boy band, it will just be such a shame.
Yeah.
But of the countries that are really struggling, I guess Latvia has like a 6-year non-qualification streak. Ireland, Georgia, and was there one other as well? San Marino, maybe. I mean, none of them are safe. I don't think any of those are safe.
Yeah.
So we might also get none of them again.
No, I hope that we will not live in this parallel universe where Ireland doesn't qualify. I want us to be in the other one where they qualify,
Well, listen, they better have their shit together for the final and they better have a package ready to go. And it better be a good package.
Yeah.
I think there's, like we said at the beginning, though, there's going to be so many where we're just like, we're all so surprised.
Yeah.
Which makes it like so much more exciting because
Yeah,
last year
that's
was very...
true. Like, this is an exciting competition this year. We're like, we might lose favorites, and it's so weird that we like that this is a chance.
Yeah.
And the odds are so much closer than last year.
Yeah.
And they keep changing all the time.
So God knows. I basically, to all of the viewers watching this, don't listen to a word that we have said. None of it will be correct.
Exactly. Until we see the rehearsals, at least, we have no idea what's going to happen.
Hmm.
So what about the Big Five in Sweden? What do you think of the songs?
So Sweden, I think, is just disposable pop. I think it's a fantastic entry for the host country coming off of Lorien's staging. I think this staging, because they're going to be replicating it as close as they possibly can on the Malmö stage. I know people are saying there's no room for 2 LED walls to be good. They'll figure it out somehow. It might not be exactly the same technically, but I bet you it's going to look
it's going to be similar.
Yeah. And I think that is a great way to host. It's such a spectacle. It's catchy. It's not going to get anywhere, I don't think.
And they are such a good performers, right?
Yes.
Yeah, they sing it very well. The whole thing is very nice to listen to. It's very, very easy on the ears.
Very, very shiny and polished.
It's just a perfect example of what Sweden do best. This really, really shiny, polished pop package. So if this is the year where Sweden are like, okay, we now have the most wins with Ireland. this is why, because we produce stuff like this. Even if in the end, yeah, I mean, it might just be very middle of the pack. I don't think it's going to do very well.
Germany had a winning potential song in their national final and decided to just give up and not bother. So I don't have a lot to say about Germany this year because that is so frustrating to see.
Was it Rick? Are you talking about Rick?
Yeah. I don't actually know where I would rank that now that we have all the songs, if that was their entry for this year, but I'm sure it would still be high, you know.
It will be
would
high,
be
and he did a
high.
stellar performance.
Oh, it was
performance.
excellent.
Yeah.
And do you know what the unfortunate thing is? Isaac's song we listened to, I really like Isaac's song. It's nice, but I would not be surprised if it ended up in the bottom 5 because it's not competitive.
I always have an issue with somebody that gets on stage at Eurovision and wears jeans and a nice top. I just don't think that's acceptable. And the fact that they've said that that's a conscious decision because they're trying to be like, they're not trying too hard. No. And there's no
you know
staging.
What? I wouldn't mind. Like, there are some times that I see performances and I'm like, I would prefer if they were on their jeans instead of that, you know? But now with Isaac, I agree so much because that was the first thing I said as well. I was like, why? It feels like he's not making an effort.
It does
you
feel
know?
like that.
Talking about like going to a local open mic in a British pub, this is what this gives me visually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what this looks
But
like.
again, it's that question of kind of changing an artist or forcing them. If that's what the artist is doing outside of a competition, hats off to them.
But then
exactly.
This isn't a Eurovision artist then.
No, because if everyone else is throwing stuff on and really making it like a show, I get the intention, I get like what they're doing, but it's just going to be forgotten.
On the other hand, maybe he will be the one, like, people would be like, oh, that's a cool guy. Everyone else is like wearing shiny things.
But do you really think that's going to happen though?
No.
The only people giving this votes is the UK because the UK has no taste.
Well, I don't know. We like this song. We think it's nice.
This reads so much as like a UK entry.
Oh, it does.
This is so something
it could be a UK in the previous years. UK entry in the previous years.
Well, but I think speaking of the UK, that's also not.
I think we've missed the mark with Dizzy, sadly.
It's such a shame.
Why do you say that?
I think Ollie was a fantastic artist choice. I think, unfortunately, this year, we have ended up with a lot of young queer artists doing similar songs.
Now that you said that, let's make that note because let's talk about the queer representation after we finish with the Big Five. This year, because it's stronger and more visual than ever.
Yeah.
Oh, they're all over the place. You can't move for queers.
But we have a few kind of twinky performers doing electronic or dance tracks. And I think Ollie's song, he's trying too hard to recreate the most recent big hit he had, which was It's a Sin, the cover of It's a Sin. It's the same chord progression in the chorus. And I think it's too much of a callback to that, to the point where it doesn't sound new or fresh. And we also really struggle with the structure of the song. It's very repetitive. It's very repetitive.
I don't know, just in terms of like the kind of the intention, or if there's any kind of, I don't know, message or the art behind it. If you think about a few of the other entries, I guess Belgium, Switzerland, there's a real kind of
more soul,
strong intention and soul. And Ollie's song is literally about, we made out and now I feel dizzy.
I agree. That's the only thing that turns me off about this song, because I love Ollie. I also follow him for years. Like, I've been a fan. Like, even before I moved to the UK, when I was in Greece, I was fan of years and years. I actually like the song. It's a very well-produced song. The thing is that does it talk about? Like, even if it's a love song, it's fine if it's a love song. But I don't know. It's very weirdly like put together that it doesn't mean anything. Like, it doesn't move me. Even that I'm a sucker for happy love songs, it doesn't move me. But I believe that Ollie will make a very slick performance. I believe that they will stage it well. Like he has the team to do that. I believe he will
I believe
perform.
so as well.
And I
Yes.
believe that the juries love slick pop performances, and I think he will do well, actually.
Well, we listen to it. I mean, we don't. It's not our favorite. We don't love it, but you know, if it comes on, we'll leave it on and we'll hum along to it.
I just think he has some direct competition this year and some songs which are better.
I mean,
which is unfortunate. I
Switzerland.
think in other years this could have performed a lot better.
If we're talking about something moving you, Switzerland actually moves you. There's something so powerful about that in the way that Ollie's it just isn't there, which is you know, it's a shame. I actually don't think it's unrealistic to say that we might again be in the bottom 5. I know people are.
I don't think so. I don't think so because of the
I don't
juries, for
think
sure.
So
I would just listen. We were saying this about Mae Muller. I think we all have to just be a little bit realistic.
But Mae Muller's performance, the live performance.
Yeah, no, I know
was
the
not good.
performance will probably be a completely different ball game. But I mean,
well,
let's
unless
just,
they have the same sound tech people,
Let's just-
like
yeah.
that they did nothing to help May.
no,
Not love her.
that's a
They
shame.
did nothing to help her. Whoever was doing the audio and her performance. I mean, obviously, we know it wasn't a fantastic vocal, but they did nothing to help her. There was no
Yeah.
support anywhere. The sound was terrible.
Yeah, that was too bad.
And that could happen with Ollie.
Yeah, it could. I don't know. I just think we all need to be a bit like just take a step back and not get too
Too emotionally involved.
Yeah,
You don't want to
yeah.
get
Speaking
someone.
of like emotional love songs, though, I think France is easy top 10 this year. And
Oh
people, I think, are forgetting about it, are sleeping on it. I think people have been very, very melodramatic about it. I think this is easy top 10.
Easy.
It's so good. He sings it so well. It's such a beautiful melody. And it kind of stands out because there isn't much. Because if Latvia's not qualifying, we don't really have a male-fronted ballad. He's kind of on his own.
And it's
He
a
is on
very
his own.
classic power ballad.
I mean, it's super French. I mean, it's like the most French thing in the world. And
Yeah.
sometimes people roll their eyes and they're like, "Oh, France is coming again." They cannot send a song that doesn't include Paris or France in it. They have to remind people that the language isn't already going to do that. Like his background will be
The French flag or the
What was
Eiffel Tower.
What was she
Eiffel
called?
Tower.
Alma. When she was on that spinning Eiffel Tower, it will be the same thing. But it's so good and it's so on its own that yeah, I think people will really latch it. I mean,
And we have heard some increasingly strained vocals from Salman because this song was added to his tour set list and he's been touring a lot recently. He's done a lot of the pre-parties and he does have a very tired voice at the moment. I think there's time to rest. I think I have faith that he knows that when it counts, he really needs to be careful.
Yeah, I think he's a professional. He knows, like, okay, I have to stay back a little bit, you know, to rest my voice and everything. He will, I'm pretty sure he will do it.
And I don't mind the stepping away from the mic gimmick. I quite like that. Most people aren't going to have seen that before when they watch it. It's only us and so in the bubble. I like that. I mean, whether they do that or not, I don't know, but I don't mind it. I think that could be a nice little gimmick.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be able to pull in votes from both sides as well. So
yeah, it's great. The first time I saw it, I was like, I don't know for how long my mouth stayed open. I was like,
right, and he's so handsome. My God.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Handsome, sexy, charming, everything.
Yeah, he can sing. He can scream that note in my face. I would not be angry about it. Oh yeah.
Who else have we got in the big five? We have got
Italy.
Oh, I completely forgot about Italy. I mean, this is in the winner's circle conversation, right?
Right.
Italy's giving third place vibes to me. I see Angelina coming third place.
Oh, she gives me the cool that Marina does as well. Like it's just so she's just like the cool chick. You want to be friends.
Vibing.
You want to be friends with her. You want to sleep with her. She's so talented. Every time she does it, it's remarkable.
She just oozes this kind of swag about her. There's this confidence. The vocal is so impressive. It's so effortless.
Every time.
It's a catchy song. I also like the story to this song. I think it's an interesting point of view coming from a younger person who's kind of sick of being told what to do and having this expectation and just basically breaking free from this expectation and just trying to live life to the fullest how they want to. I just think it's an interesting point of view. I think a lot of people don't listen to that generation when they have things to say, but that generation have things to say. I like it.
The production on the song is so interesting. It's something that everyone can listen to and jam along to, but there's nothing run-of-the-mill about this song.
Also, this is an artist. We're going to be getting some really cool staging. I know it. We're going to be getting visuals.
They also have
loving the styling.
Rosaline's choreographers.
Excellent.
Oh,
perfect. That's what we
okay.
need.
Yeah.
Very excited to see this.
And you know, she has a vocal moment at the end, like for something which kind of on the surface is just like a pop song.
That
She goes
acapella
off
moment.
and does this a cappella. Like, it's so clever. It's such a clever entry because it's both really accessible, but it just stands out in a way that people are going to vote for this in spades. Yeah, it may not win, but it's certainly up there.
It's up there. I agree. Definitely. Definitely. And
Spain
yeah, when I
is
was
not
watching, sorry.
Spain is not.
No, I know, but I love it so much.
We love Doro as well. I think it's a real great song, and I'm so happy that it was selected. I think Nebulosa is so fun. I also like that this is such a feminist song. I liked the nods to activists in the music video. That's not going to read to anyone who doesn't speak Spanish. They're just going to think it's a fun song with some a more mature lady just owning her sexuality, and I think that's enough for people to enjoy. I don't think this is making waves.
Yeah, but usually the
Eurovision.
presenters are saying a few things about the songs at the beginning, like before, right?
I understand that commentators might be giving a brief synopsis as to like the meaning of the song, but I think that it has its merits without that anyway. I think people will like it just because it's a mature lady kind of owning her sexuality and giving the middle finger to the patriarchy. Even that reads without any explanation. I just think this is not like a vocally challenging song. And I don't know. I just don't think people are going to pick up the phone for this.
Well, she's not the strongest vocalist. And again, if we saw this in a club somewhere, you would scream and shout.
My gosh.
You would love it. You would
we
love
would throw
everything
money
about
at
it.
her for sure.
But again, competition, if we've seen her sing this a number of times, and it's, you know, it's not the strongest vocal. So I think that's going to hold her back. People might see it as being a bit unintentionally comical. I don't know. There's a few things working against it. And I don't think a lot of people really care too much about reading into a song, finding out what it's about, looking it up or researching it.
Yes,
They
for
will just
sure.
look at the surface kind of value of it. So I'd like it to, you know, certainly be up there, but I think the best it can possibly do is kind of middle.
I was so glad it was selected from the national final. That was such a surprise because I did not see that coming at all. But I was really pleased. I thought that was like,
yeah,
what a fun.
It's not a skip. When she comes on, we will be front and center cheering her on.
And I feel like Spain are really just saying this year, you know what, like, fuck it, we're just going to send what we want to send, and we're going to have a good time. And if no one else likes it, it doesn't matter. I don't think they're trying to win with this song. This is not a winning song. But I respect that 100%.
Me too. And I prefer that, you know, like at least they send what the people want to send, you know, like what they enjoy, like the way that, like in Sanremo, I was going to say Sanremo, Benidorm Fest, the way that people were cheering and shouting Thora, 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 like when the performance was on, like give them what they want, like, you know,
Exactly. Yeah.
I do. I think this is going to come right side of the board though.
Along with the UK and Germany.
Okay, now that we did them all of the big five, I want to ask you, because I always had in my mind that, you know, the Eurovision is it's a celebration for the queer people as well. Like in my house here, we call it the gay Christmas. But I just realized this year that it actually hasn't been before like that. Now, this year, we have the most representation we've ever had, openly, right?
There's a lot. Well, I think, we all started kind of considering this when it was the group of So it's like young queer men and non-binary artists that are kind of in a similar pot. So it's like
The Twinks,
Lithuania, the Twinks,
Yes.
Belgium, Switzerland, UK. And then, so there's also, okay, so there's Ireland,
Denmark, San Marino.
San Marino. I mean, I don't know the kind of identities or whatever of a number of them, but there's certainly
Yeah.
kind of some like the backing dancers for Spain, for example.
Exactly.
Like, there's just a lot
Even
of
the
vision.
performance,
Yeah, there's a lot going on,
Which is super fun.
It's excellent, especially now that we're in this climate. You know, there's so much kind of going on, and there's so many marginalized people just being shat on. It's excellent. I love it. I think it's incredible. It's just like the gayest thing anyway. So we might as well just go full ham.
Exactly.
Lay even more claim to it.
Yeah. In fact, who else? I reckon.
And I think it's the first time we see queer people being that sexy, because they're usually either camp or they try to be more like easy to digest.
I'm not like the other gays.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit like that. Whereas
kind of like that, or just to, you know, in order to get votes. Because I remember I was talking with Gustav last year when he was preparing for Eurovision, and he's openly gay. He's talking about this stuff. But when I asked him about the staging, and I realized this year, he said, like, we're trying to tone it down so it can be for more people, you know.
Well, they didn't do a very
when
good
I
job
asked
of
him
that.
about the what?
They didn't do a very good job of that.
No, about his outfit, not the whole staging, because in comparison with his outfit at the national final, which was like too much, and they made it more, you know, like, because then staging wise they called pussy. So.
But you're right, it's nice to see queer artists performing with an authenticity.
Yeah.
They're representing themselves and who they are.
Specifically, I can't believe we forgot Australia as well.
Oh, yes.
Which is not
Australia,
only like indigenous
of course.
artists. I believe Zachariah might be non-binary as well. Does I remember that correctly?
I'm not sure.
So there's so it's not only just the presence, but the kind of being so outwardly, visually representative as well. It's excellent. Yeah. So
I'm so happy. Okay, last question, because I have you here for ages. 5 countries that you think they can win, and 5 countries that you would really be happy if they won.
Okay, the ones that are going to win. Switzerland.
Well, the ones that could, not necessarily that we want.
Yeah.
Okay. Switzerland, Croatia, Italy.
I'm going to put Norway in there. Now, I think they have enough to pull from both sides that they could be a dark horse.
I agree.
And
I kind of think France should be considered.
I can see it winning.
Yeah. I was going to say the Netherlands, but I feel like they can only really pull from the televote. I don't think
except if they produce something very slick. And the Netherlands, like, they have nice staging.
Listen, if I'm proven wrong, I'm ready to eat humble pie. But I think people are in for a bit of a surprise at Eurovision in terms of the Netherlands performance. I really do. I think people are going to be in for a bit of a rude awakening.
I don't know if they're going to pull in enough jurors to balance it out.
I think Jokes will be lucky to get top 10.
We'll say France then.
Personally.
Oh, I think that might be a bit controversial. So Switzerland, Italy, Croatia, Norway, and France, we'll say, are the ones that we think are in the winning circle.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've not forgotten anyone, have we?
I don't think so.
Well, you don't have a free spot, even if you forgot someone.
Oh, are we gunning for Greece? Are we trying to get Greece?
Oh, no. No, I didn't say that.
Obviously, no. Okay.
No, you say what you want. I'm not gonna try to change your opinions.
So, how about what we want? I think
which ones you would be very happy, you know? Like, it doesn't matter if they are favorites or not, but you would be happy to see winning.
Croatia and Switzerland, I'd be happy with.
Croatia, I would be ecstatic because they've never won before. We need a Balkan win, host country. That would just be so good.
I think Switzerland is very deserving. I'd be very happy with Switzerland winning.
Yes.
I want Denmark and Malta. I want Denmark and I want Malta, and neither of them will, and San Marino as well.
It would be really, really fun. I don't think this is going to happen, but it would be really fun if Ireland took it.
That would be something else.
That
Not
would
the-
be something else. I think that would be really fun. I don't think it's impossible. I think it's very, very unlikely.
Of course, it's impossible. Stop
I don't think
it.
it's
Nothing is impossible.
Yeah, a few things are.
If the stars aligned in just the right way for them, there's an alternate reality somewhere in the multiverse where Bambi Thug wins Eurovision. I don't know if we're in that reality.
I don't think of the group of the ones in the original group, I would like Norway to win out of that.
I'm going for Switzerland. They're my winner.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for
this.
having us.
Thank
This was so
you.
lovely. This was such a nice conversation to have.
I loved it too. Thank
I'm
you.
sorry we've given you so much footage to go through now.
I'm gonna leave it all in. I'm not editing anything.
Leave the lot.
Raw
Leave all of
footage.
the.
No, I'm gonna edit. Thank you, and thank you everyone for watching, and see you very soon at another video. Bye.